Tip number 1. We want to make our content as simple to consume as possible. As a content creator, your expertise needs to be making any topic, no matter how complicated it may be, seem simple. When you can make a really, really difficult topic seem simple, so it can be pretty much understood by a child, it's going to be much more applicable to a wider range of people. And when your content is applicable to a wider range of people and reachable by more people, then it increases the likelihood of it going viral. So don't try and make yourself seem clever by using super long words or industry jargon, because then by using those, you're niching that piece of content down to people that will only understand those complicated terms that you are using. If you pull back on those words and use language that anyone can understand, then you are applying that piece of content to a much larger audience. And when you have that much larger audience able to consume your content, then it's much more likely that you will reach that larger audience. And you're also doing yourself a favor by making that content easy to consume, because people don't want to read a book or a novel's worth of content when they are consuming a post on social media. Their attention span is incredibly, incredibly short. If they wanted to read a book, they would go and read a book. But the social media attention span is very slim. So if you're able to break down that piece of content, make it very simplistic, break it down into very, very simple sentences, you're making it very easy to consume. And when it's something that's very easy to consume, people will consume it. If they had to read what feels like a chapter from a book, then it's much less likely that they are going to finish consuming that piece of content, then engage with it, then interact with it and share it with their friends, because if they didn't want to consume it in the first place, why would anyone else? So there's a rule that I have when I create my pieces of content. I say, look, if I was scrolling through social media, would I actually consume this piece of content myself? If the answer is yes, then it gets the go ahead and I post it. If the answer is no, I am back to the drawing board and I am making that piece of content as simple as it can possibly be until it's at a point where I would personally consume it. Because I don't have the largest attention span when I'm scrolling through social media. If I'm reading through and just scrolling through my feed and there's too much text, I ignore it. I'm on to the next one. I'm like every other person. Even though I'm a content creator myself, it's just how it is. So you need to be looking at your piece of content and asking yourself that question. Would I actually consume this piece of content myself? Because then you are being honest and giving yourself a true opinion of whether that piece of content is actually going to perform. And that's what you've got to start with. Because if you haven't got that foundation in place, then you're not really setting yourself up for success with the other features that you could potentially implement that I'm going to go and talk about now.